Concave side of the spoon. Of course, that can be a little bit messy. The less fun, the cleaner way is to simply use the straw and suck the drink right out of the bag.
Hi, I'm Frank Wallin. Can you see the effects of global warming from space?
Interesting question. The main thing is that global warming is a climate change, and climate changes take place over very long periods of time. Even rapid climate change can take years to go into effect. So on a 2-week shuttle mission, it would be very tough to see something like that. However, an interesting study would be to look at some of our observations from space since we've been aloft over the last 40 or more years to see how the Earth has changed since the first photographs did come back from space. Yeah, for global warming, I don't know necessarily about that, whether I agree with that whole concept, but what I can see from space is things like the deforestation of rainforests in South America and the fires that we see from space. And I've actually taken a photo of an iceberg near Antarctica that was one whole piece and has since, over the last couple of years, separated into 2 pieces, and that's a pretty cool thing to see.
Hi, I'm ZJ Mayton. Does the sun's heat cause any problems during an EVA?
Well, that's a really good question. When you're outside at night, of course, we have heaters in our spacesuit, and these heaters keep our fingers warm. But when the sun comes up, you can actually feel yourself getting a bit warmer as you're working hard doing all these various tasks during the spacewalk. The problem in space is more staying cool when you're doing a spacewalk, because it's really easy to get too warm if you have the temperature setting on your suit in the wrong position. But we always make sure that we adjust that as we're getting ready to do all the various tasks that we're working on.
Hi, I'm Alicia Maybe. What is the most challenging part about manipulating the robotic arm?
Well, there are a lot of challenges in manipulating the robotic arm, but all of those challenges are actually fun challenges. So one of the best things is you get to move these very large pieces of equipment around with the robotic arm, which itself is a very large piece of equipment. I don't know if you can tell by your view that you have, but we have very few windows up here on board the International Space Station, yet you're moving something outside, and it gets very close to a lot of different pieces of structure, and you don't want to hit anything. So we have, and Clay, maybe you can zoom in and we can see this. At our robotic workstation, we have camera views that we use. So there are cameras all over the outside of the space station, and we use those views inside to help us see what we're looking at outside. The other really big challenge is trying to keep yourself steady, because if As you probably know from Newton's laws, every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. So if you're going to, say, pitch the arm down, and I've got my hand on the robotic arm controller, and I pitch the arm down, look what happens to my body. It pitches me up. So you've got to learn to really constrain yourself and hold yourself down with foot loops and keep yourself very, very steady.
Hi, I'm Paige Stischel. What do stars look like from where you are?
Well, the first difference that you notice in space is that the stars don't twinkle at all. What you see as twinkling is due to the atmosphere above you causing the light to scintillate around. So the stars here just shine steady. The next thing around here that I've noticed is that, much to my surprise, I see fewer stars than I see on the ground, even in Houston where it's a big lit city. It's because the space shuttle and the space station we keep very well lit up for all of our robotic operations and our spacewalks. And so it's very bright outside around here, and it's hard for us to dark adapt and see the stars. I imagine once we're clear of the space station on our way back home, we'll have a few days to look out the window with all the lights out, and I'm really looking forward to seeing all the stars from there.
In fact, one way to think about that, when we're on the International Space Station and all the lights are on, when we look outside, it's very much like trying to look at the stars when you're in Boise. You can see some, but then if you go up high in the mountains up to McCall, and you have all the lights out, that's what it'll be like once we undock from station and we can turn all our shuttle lights out, and also for our station folks, they can turn all their lights out.
Hi, I'm Gavin Toston. Can you see the Earth rotate when you are orbiting?
Well, that's a great question. And to answer that question, we've got a little softball here as a prop. And what I want to do is start to spin the ball, meaning that it's being very similar to the Earth spinning. And if you look at the ball spinning, it's spinning very, very slowly. And when we're orbiting in the space shuttle and on the space station, we're going around the Earth a lot faster than the Earth is actually spinning. So from our perspective, we don't actually see the Earth orbiting. We see us going over and around the surface of the Earth every 90 minutes, traveling at 25 times the speed of sound. It's pretty amazing.
Hi, my name is Hunter Fry. What are your responsibilities for this mission?
Well, we'll all answer that with short answers because we all have a variety of responsibilities. My responsibilities are for the robotic arm and a lot of the transfer. We brought up about 150 bags worth of stuff, and we're bringing lots of equipment, science equipment, and food and clothing and other supplies for Clay and his two crewmates on board, Oleg and Fyodor, and they have a lot of stuff that they need to get off the station that we need to bring back home for them.
Other duties include things like setting up the computer network on board the shuttle. We start from scratch and build one from nothing in the first day of the mission. We also have to set up a sound stage so we can send down video for scenes like this, as well as communications. And my main responsibility for the mission is doing spacewalks with Rick Mastracchio, and also we're going to be going outside with Clay on our fourth spacewalk of the mission. Clay and Rick are going outside tomorrow to do our third spacewalk. It should be pretty exciting. And then one of the two physicians on board is myself, and one of the Russian cosmonauts, Oleg, is a physician as well.
Endeavour ISS, we have you back.
And for all the students down there in Idaho, my job on the space station and the shuttle combined mission is I'm kind of the gracious host for these folks, and I get to keep them out of trouble and put away all the stuff they knock off the walls, and then I have to take all the gear that they brought onto my house and all the bags and all the things, and I expect I might have to be here a couple years to be able to accomplish all that.